Hey everyone, James Niggemeyer here. Thank you for tuning back into my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about the Wacky rig versus the Neko rig, when I use which, and why I think they're effective under certain conditions versus others. Before I go ahead and get right into the video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. That's really the best way that you could help grow and support the channel, and I'd appreciate it. So the Wacky rig versus the Neko rig. I'm going to talk about the Wacky rig real quick. The Wacky rig is hooked perpendicular to the line of the bait. You can see that right there. I basically hook it right through the middle. Hook it right through the middle, as close to the center as possible, so you have equal weight on each side. And why I say equal weight is because this is a thinner side and this is a thicker side. This is more round. It's going to have a little bit more weight on this side, so it looks lopsided, but that's, you know, as close as you can get to rigging it right in the middle. You don't have to be perfect, but get it as close as you can. The Wacky rig, typically I like to throw that in the early part of the season, colder water temperatures, but you can fish it year round. But one of the things that I like it for is when the fish are suspended high in the water column. So like around boat docks or high in buckbrush or maybe pole timber, you start to see fish sunning, getting up there, soaking in the sun's rays. Some people think that the bass are actually helping incubate their eggs early in the season like that. This thing falls really slow because it has no weight other than the plastic. So once you throw it out there, it's gonna sink down really slowly and stay in the strike zone longer. I really like to throw this on bright, still, calm, and flat conditions, because when you throw it out there, because there's no weight, hits the surface, very minimal splash, no alarming clues to the bass that this might be anything other than a unsuspecting morsel as it flutters to the bottom. So it's just a great all-around bait on bright, calm, and still conditions. The Neko rig. I rig the Neko rig with the hook in line or parallel to the direction of the worm, just like that. Now the Neko rig is basically a Wacky rig with a weight inserted in here, and there's several different types of weights, lead, tungsten, etc., that you can get and just insert it in there as straight as possible. And the reason I like to rig it like this is because now that you have a weight inserted into the worm, it's gonna fall like that. And if you had the hook pointed the other direction, kind of like this, it's gonna have more of a tendency to wanna hook into something. So I hook it this way. I feel like it comes through cover better. Yes, it's got a weed guard, but this is just an extra measure of trying to keep it in the cover, around the cover, and not getting it hung up. I like the Neko rig anytime, but I think it excels when there's a little bit of wind, because then you kind of have a little bit of weight to kind of pull on. You can feel that weight when you're pulling on it like this, and you can actually get some nail weights that are 16th, 1/32nd, different things like that. I think even an 1/8, and you can really feel that, and you can fish this in deeper water. When fish are closer to the bottom and I want to work it down on the bottom, the Neko rig is definitely the choice. When the water's warmer, this is going to sink faster, and that quicker fall could draw a reaction strike from a bait otherwise known to be kind of an enticer of bites. So this will actually be kind of twofold. You can get one on a fast descent with this bait or a faster descent with this bait because of the weight in it, but also once it gets to the bottom, you can work it just like any other finesse technique. So this one works not only through the water column, but down on the bottom as well. The hook that I like to use for either Neko rigging or Wacky rigging is the Sniper Finesse weedless hook by Owner Hooks. It's got a titanium weed guard and that silky gray finish, which I feel like really makes setting the hook even easier. I like a 1/0, 2/0, and 3/0, depending upon the size of the stick bait that I'm throwing, and obviously the size of the fish that I'm targeting. If the fish are bigger, I'm going to try to go with as big a hook as I can get away with. But those are the hooks that I like for that. Those are the differences. Really, I like the Neko rig and the Wacky rig anytime, and definitely experiment. Some days they'll want one over the other. These are just guidelines that you can use when you're trying to select either the Wacky rig or the Neko rig I hope this information is useful and it helps you decide when you want the Neko rig and when you want the Wacky rig as a general rule of thumb. If you've made it through the end of this video, thank you for watching the video, and until next time, good fishing.